Hello, welcome back to ReddyControls. We're going to do a live stream on mastering PLC timers, the T on, T off, and retentive timers. So we'll go ahead and start with going online with the PLC. I have an older program here. I'll try to go online and okay. Once we go online, it's as you can see the program which I have is a older program which is on version 35 and the controller is at version 36. I get two options on either updating the firmware on the PLC file to 36 or select a different file. So I'm going to update the controller is at 36, controller is at 36, the offline file is 35. So I'll just update the firmware. Oh, sorry. We'll go ahead and take the module firmware. We don't want to do that. Instead, what I will do is I'll go back to the file and change the firmware revision of the controller in the offline file to 36. So hit cancel here, right click, properties, we'll hit change controller and select down 36 and say okay. What this does is it changes the firmware revision of the file to 36. I already give it some time. Somehow my laptop is not responding. Yeah, it took some time. So yeah, it's converting the project to 36. That's what it took some time for it to act, but finally it's doing its thing. That's the thing. Yeah, now the file is already converted to 36, and now we try to download this file to the PLC which I have here. It doesn't give that error anymore that the firmware is not matching, but we'll go ahead and download now. We'll go ahead and download the to the existing PLC. Say yes. So now what I have is I have this existing logic which goes through about timers. What we will do instead of select switch, we'll go ahead and use a local input 1, which I already have. Local input 1, we will just change this switch 1 to local input 0. I already have a push button wire to it, so we will go ahead and change that to 0. That will make when I push the button I get switch 1 logic. So we go back to the logic. Essentially there are three types of timers. You have the T on timer and a T off timer and a retentive timer on. We will go ahead and change this to switch 1, which is switch 1. So we'll go ahead and change this tag to switch 1 to demo the timer on. Think about the timer on as a wait and then act timer. So timer on is like you wait and then act. Imagine if you have a conveyor that needs to start, that needs a start delay of 3 seconds after hitting a cycle start button, right? You push a cycle start button and you don't want to start immediately. You want to give some time for the beacon light to come on and a flashing red light to come on, saying like the machine is about to start, and then actually run the conveyor, right? In that case, you could use a T on. So what would happen is we would push the button and the timer will come on, and once the timer is done, we'll have, so let me go back and change this to a select switch. So what happens is I'm simulating a switch here. If I say this, imagine this switch as a condition, like a start condition, which is already sealed in. If you want to know how to do a start and stop logic, it should be in my playlist videos. But for now, imagine this is a start signal. And once the signal is on, we have the timer enable. And if you look at the structure on the timer, sorry, not that one, cancel. If you go back and right click monitor, the tag structure for T on has a preset, which is how long the timer should time up to. So all the preset is in milliseconds. So right now I have 15,000 milliseconds, which is 15 seconds. And then the accumulator starts from 0. Once the rung in condition is true, it will start timing all the way up to 15 seconds. And once the timer is done, you'll have a timer done bit on, and then you have an enable bit which tells that the timer is enabled, and a timer timing bit is the bit which tells us the timing of the timer. Okay, so what's happening, to show this, it's easier for us to use a trend and show this. You could see, oh, this is timer, let's see which one is that. Just one timer. Okay, so we'll go ahead and edit this timer, this trend. So you go to chart properties, pins, and instead of timer 3, we will delete all the timer 3 trends. You know what we can do? Cancel all this. You right click, copy, and you could right click, paste it, and then now we can open trend 111, and we will modify that trend. Chart properties, pins, we go ahead and delete existing pins, delete the pins, and then add drop down, and you could type timer 1_T on. We want to have the preset value, add, and we want to show the accumulator value, dot done bit, and dot enable bit, and timer timing bit. Okay, so I have all this trending here. We'll go ahead and run to explain. So we'll go ahead and minimize the screen so we can see. So all we are looking at is just timer on, which is like a, think of it like a wait and then act, right? So we'll go ahead and run. So we'll drop the input low. So now everything is about to start. So we'll go ahead and we'll toggle the start condition high, and you could see the timer started timing, and you could see the accumulator going all the way up to 10,000, 11,000, and it goes all the way to 15,000, and then just to see it, we will create the pins on the y-axis. The x-axis is on seconds, that's why you're not seeing it. So we'll change it to minutes so you have a better view of it. So we'll redo it. So I'll toggle this select switch off and then toggle it back on. Once the input condition is met, oh, so let me run it again. Okay, so go ahead and toggle off. So this is the trend for this timer on. So we will turn on the input condition for the timer. Once the input condition is on, you could see the timer. Let's do one more thing on the chart properties. We want to display the y-axis, y-axis on isolated, and we just give 1%. What that would do is that would make the screen, it's a lot easy to see. So as you can see, let's pause this one here. You could use the pause there. So initially the timer preset is 15,000. You could see the green one. Once the input condition is true, the timer started timing, which is, it went high. This is the timer timing, and you could see the timer timing became 1. That's when the timer accumulated started accumulating all the way up to 15,000 milliseconds. And once the accumulator value is equal to the preset value of 15,000 is when we got the timer done bit. And you could see the enable bit is on all through. So once it reached the 15,000 milliseconds, your enable bit is on and your done bit is also on. The enable bit is on because the input condition is on, right? So watch what will happen if I drop the input condition. Immediately my enable bit and the done bit also dropped. So that's how the timer on works. And we use timer ons on the field if you want to add a debounce timer that I have shown in my previous videos. So that's all about timer on conditions. To learn more about timers, I already have a video on my channel. It's called Mastering PLC Timers T-on, in which I go in detail about timer on, timer off, and a retentive timer. So if you like this video and if this has helped added any value, please subscribe and follow my channel. In the next live stream, we will dig deeper into timer off. If you need this file for practice, please let me know in the comments and I can share this file with you so you could practice. Thank you.